his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Hello and welcome everybody to another broadcast here on the Saints Gaming CA channel. My name is Shadi Zedihana, and alongside me, as always, of course, is Mr. Dan Banners here with another night of NACE CSGO action, Week 5, St. Clair Saints versus Fanshawe Fuel. Danners, how are you feeling about this matchup tonight?
I'm always excited whenever we get to play one of our fellow Ontario schools, and always a back and forth battle here with Fanshawe. There's certain games they definitely have our number on, but I don't ever remember Counter-Strike being one of them. We'll have to see here tonight, specifically going up against the Fanshawe Fuel. And I'm looking forward to this matchup and looking at the map itself. Unfortunately, here in the NACE season, I don't have the records here for the teams currently in the season, but we do have a couple matches from past leagues to go off of, at least for the Saints side of things. As a map that we're going to be playing on today, of course, this is just a best of one. We're going back to Overpass. This is where Saints won on Sunday, so this should be fresh in their minds. And, of course, that was a back and forth battle, but the Saints, of course, taking it in the end. So looking forward to seeing how they can play here tonight against the Fuel. They're just in progress of doing the knife round, just to figure out which sides everybody is going to start off on. And what are you thinking about for this matchup here? Of course, Overpass, like I was saying before, Saints victorious here last time by. As a coach, maybe for a different kind of style of game, but knowing that this is a play style that you've been successful with before, do you feel really good about it going into a matchup, or a different matchup rather?
I mean, you're always looking for comfort, right? You want your players to be on something that they're familiar with, so they're not experimenting with anything too extreme, and they can focus just on performance and gameplay, right? We can already see here everybody kind of getting readied up in this first round, getting ready for some gameplay. And it's good to know what the maps look like and where you're going and what your angles are, especially for any FPS. We saw last night in the Overwatch game we were observing, of course, how that level of comfort really affected certain maps. For example, Yijiang Tower, when we were watching that initial control point contest, just knowing what your angles are. And now here with CSGO, you know, it's a very similar style of game, right? You wanna get find your attack angles, find your pickoffs, and use that tempo to push in and secure your round kills, right? So right here, I'll see it. Start of the first round. 2 pistol kills now for Fuel. Fanshawe Fuel getting a nice, good lead onto this round. Good tempo, getting themselves that numbers advantage here. Another gunfight, but this time going the way of Formal. A really good shot there to get that set up. And now again in the side here, right behind the bunker, a nice little fake out here between Bobby and Very Original. Bobby just the last man standing here, trying to do whatever he can, get another kill out before that round goes down. And there it goes, Very Original getting taken out really right in that gunfight there. But unfortunately for Bobby, that is where it ends. Runic Tide cleaning up the kill. That's the first round going to Fanshawe.
That initial battle there between the Saints and Fanshawe just did not go in the favor of Saints. We're already taken down 2 players. A nice quick maneuver for Fanshawe to get onto that A site, get the bomb down, and now basically act as the defender. Is Very Original with 2 kills in that first round. Very solid start here for him. An unfortunate little extra stab here going into the back of Maz. Of course, Maz or Quizam here in this situation. And now he's already down to 3 HP before anything really got the opportunity to start. And Saints trying to do what they can here with the pistols. They're not going to try and force the issue, but versus the assault rifles and the submachine guns on the side of Fanshawe, it's just too much to deal with.
A devastating round for St. Clair. Fanshawe with the 5-0 sweep. What a great way to carry that momentum forward after winning round 1, pushing into round 2 with a huge team wipe, without dropping a single member. That's such a good way of just accelerating your tempo and really winning the mental game early on in the game. A lot of this game really and competitive is just having that kind of mental advantage. You know, knowing that you have backup gold that you can carry on to into future rounds to afford better weapons and make sure that you're keeping yourself ahead as these fights go on. Now already kind of pushing through Fanshawe, trying to get themselves set up with their artillery, launching grenades and Molotovs left, right, and center, trying to cover those angles, keep their eyes out. This round's looking a little slower than the previous ones, Danners.
A little bit slower, and at least Saints do have themselves a solid round of weaponry in regards to having all of these assault rifles. So they should at least be evened up on that point, but we got to see if they're in a solid position to hold this defense here, as they're a little bit split out as of right now. Bomb going towards that A site. Abyss is going to go down. That's going to be Glass Plata taking care of Abyss in that situation. As they continue to push towards this A site, the rest of the Saints are rotating. One thing to watch out for, Runic Tai is going to be a little bit slow. Actually, never mind. I thought he was going to go for a flank, but it does not matter. Tyler's and Quizon both going to get taken down nice and quick. It's going to be up to Bobby and Formal to clean up this site as a 2v5. I think in this situation, you just let it die. Formal going to go out swinging. Bobby's been exposed. He's going to spray and take down the skull here, a very original. So to be honest, they were able to get this back to at least a winnable position, but difficult in the end. Bobby going to try and make some noise for Formal. Bobby going to find one, but Formal does end up going down. The 1 versus 2, Bobby down to less than a quarter of his HP. Going to try and think about a smoke play. Not going to happen. Going to get taken down here. It's going to be Prime JK, or KJ rather, to finish the job there.
Really well done from Fanshawe to hold that round out. It looked like St. Clair was going to have a little better time the way that started, you know, keeping the pace early, not getting picked off too quickly into the round. And then those 2 kills going to Fanshawe, I believe, very original, picking up one and assisting the other. Such a dominant start from him in that round to really just deliver on that play, bring the numbers advantage right to the start so that you have an advantage in these team gunfights on this point. Right there, Tyler's with the door open headshot pop. What a beautiful shot from Tyler's to start this round off. Formal picking up a kill of his own onto Runic Tai. Fanshawe finally starting to get some kills back in their name. Very original. Again, always showing up on the kill feed here, picking up 2 kills to his name as Prime KJ finds the pick onto Kazam on the side here. Now fighting out over the center. The smoke comes down, and that's going to be Bobby's way out of the play here. Looking for an opportunity to plant now on the side of Fanshawe, looking to get that bomb set up and ready to go as St. Clair anxiously guarding around the point. It looks like it's always Bobby and Abyss left alone to their own devices on these points.
Definitely seems to be the case there. Formal and Quizam just been going down extremely quick. Tyler's short to follow here in this round. But to try and take this versus an AWP and 2 AK-47s, that is definitely going to be difficult. Abyss, the only one anywhere near the proper firepower to try and deal with that, but no real supportive gunfire to take this bomb. I think they're going to probably just opt to save this here, or if anything, Bobby's going to be the one to charge in because that SMG is a little bit cheaper. See what you can do to try and maybe take a gun off the side of Fanshawe, but I guess they're going to be able to take one anyway because I think Prime KJ was just a little bit slow getting out of the bomb site and is going to get blown up for his troubles. But one thing I want to mention real quick too is your mini game here for tonight's matchup. We are going to have a slaying competition of sorts here versus Formal and Abyss between the 2 of them. Who's going to find themselves with the most kills here in this round, or in this game, rather?
Coming into round number 4 here for Fanshawe, they've really done a good job of just keeping themselves on top of the kill board. Already just kind of like thinking about these players here, very original, is always has the first line of fire in all of these rounds. He's finding these really good angles where he's able to get 1 or 2 picks before he even enters into a straight up 1v1 gunfight. He always has like the first shot there. Now, things are taking a ton of damage from Fanshawe's artillery, but the return triple kill now, double kill for Formal, 1 kill going to Sam's way as he takes the martyrdom kill on his way out of the door here. Now, St. Clair with 4 players left, Formal quite injured, but still able to fight a little bit. 4v1 on this point. This might be the tempo that St. Clair needs to accelerate themselves back into this game, get that first round win under their belt. Boy C3 not able to find his position here to get that plant off. He's trying to dance around the point a little bit, making his way kind of around back over to Ace. I just taken the long scenic route as he gets himself set up on that point.
Yeah, you just hang on to the op at this point. There's no way that, or trying to retake the site with an op, from what I understand, is just extremely difficult to begin with, let alone versus 4. So just sit back, relax, maybe try to find a kill onto somebody trying to hunt you down, if anything. But no, you don't want to spend 5,000 gold, or no, 5,000 gold, you got me thinking about League of Legends here, 5,000 bucks here on another op. That is extremely expensive, so just try to hang on to it for the next round. You're up 4 rounds anyway, just suck up the loss this time by and move forward for the next one with all your weaponry in hand.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are going to kind of agree to disagree on that point a little bit. Just hang tight until the timer ticks down. And for St. Clair, that's a huge round to win. Finally getting themselves on the board here, 1-4 as we move into round 6. We can see now both teams starting to finally pick up some weapons they can actually use in fights. Before, it was pretty one-sided for Fanshawe, but this round does get St. Clair a little bit of an advantage here now. They're able to actually contest in these 1-to-1 situations. Going for a little bit more of a flanking route here. Kazam finding the first pick there onto Runic Tie at the very beginning of that round. Nice shot there to get that going for his team.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a slower push here for Fanshawe. And actually, Zeddy, were you a fan of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original one?
I was really good at getting knifed. Put it like that. I was really good at getting run down and dying in places that I didn't know what was going on. I'm gonna be honest, first-person shooter, you won't. It's just painful to watch. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm watching these guys play. These are the pros, right? I just get to watch and enjoy them play.
I was definitely wondering, because you're the only one I've ever heard referred to refragging as a martyrdom, and if anything, I remember martyrdom from COD. But moving forward here, it's still a 4-on-3 in the favor of St. Clair, but they can't peek their head out. Otherwise, Boyce is going to be right there to just absolutely take their life away. Of course, Ops still in hand, taking it extremely slow and looking towards that A site. It's about to get messy right by Quizam and Abyss.
Nice little gunfight there. Prime KJ getting the first shot there. Kazam getting the return kill onto Boise 3. And now both these teams starting to approach the point. Kazam dropped very low, but it is a 3v2 situation. Ooh. And as I say that, Kazam goes down. We're back to a 2v2, baby. And that's the last 10 seconds. And it's right down to the wire here. Formal pushing in, trying to find that pick. There's the plant from Fanshawe, trying to get it down in the last 2 seconds. And it looks like the plant was successful. Doesn't matter anyways. That's the wipe for Fanshawe. And now getting that return round kill right after St. Clair finally got themselves on the board. Fanshawe says that's enough. We're back on the scoreboard, 5-1 for Fanshawe.
And they didn't even start off necessarily that hot there, but it was just constantly like 1-for-1 over and over and over again, to the point where Saints just had that final 1v1, but Prime KJ going to clean that up nicely. And now, sure, it looks like the op is gone on this side of the Fanshawe fuel. However, everybody's loaded up AK-47s in hand. Saints going to opt for a timeout here, so take a second and figure out what your strategy is going to be moving forward for the next couple of rounds. Do they opt to buy up here? There is a lot of money in some of the pockets of St. Clair, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of assault rifles picked up here. But something about their defense is just hurting so far, and to be honest, this is very similar to what we saw on Sunday. Their defensive side of things are struggling a little bit. Not as bad as it is right now versus Fanshawe Fuel, but I believe they're always maybe about 2 to 3 rounds behind. And at halftime, they were down 8-7. But once they got onto the attacking side here on Overpass, they were able to turn it around and get themselves the victory. So it's just a matter of maybe this defensive side of things isn't their strongest suit, but how little will the bleeding be as you get into the halftime portion? You don't want to get things too far away, because sure, attacking may be your favorite side here on Overpass, but if you've already lost way too many rounds on the defensive side of things, you have absolutely no room for error. And Quizam's going to get nailed down to like 10% right off the bat. He is going to find himself the 1-for-1 at least. And we have a 4-on-4 moving forward.
Sam seems to be either the first to kill or the first to drop in a lot of these plays. It really speaks to his aggression in the way that he likes to approach these points. He's the first man out, and he's either trying to find that cheeky kill or he's the one getting killed on very early into these rounds. It does tend to put his team at a little bit of a disadvantage here. That Molotov kind of self-griefing a little bit, guarding their own access up to the stairwell here. Gonna have to camp out and wait a little bit. That grenade looks like it found its mark a little better than the last one here. And now both teams, after that initial first blood, just happy to take it chill and slow things down, wait for someone to overextend and find that pick to get your team going.
Absolutely. The one thing I do want to point out here is Formal, and it did end up getting an op for the side of St. Clair. And with the way Formal's been playing so far in this season and then in the other leagues as well, it's been so hit or miss. Like, sometimes he's just absolutely legendary on it, but sometimes it's just a waste of a purchase. Like, it just straight up doesn't get any value. We gotta hope for the side of the Saints that he gets some value. Otherwise, they are going to be hurting in regards to their economy. But Bobby is going to make it nice and easy for him with that huge triple. Just a matter of dealing with very original. But he's been on absolutely fire so far in this series. So he may just be the lone guy left, but I still think he can do some damage.
Bobby getting that triple kill, hunting for a fourth, but very original, says no thank you, not today, sir. Finding the kill. Does take about 50% of his health in damage, though, so he's quite weak up. The next 1v1 is pretty Saints favored, and it looks like he's not going to want to drop anything for Saints now here on this round. It is going to be a round win for St. Clair here. 2-5 now on the scoreboard.
And looking at our little mini game, of course, in regards to kills, right now it is anybody who's voted for Formal. You're sitting nice and pretty. 8 kills on Formal compared to nothing for Abyss. That is absolutely brutal here for Abyss. Granted, he isn't the entry fragger on the side of St. Clair, not the first one into the swing of things. That's a huge kill, actually, to start things off. Get another one, too. Ox Plata going on a tear. And this awkward buy here, like half buy, half deagle rounds here on the side of Fanshawe, doing some devastating damage here to the full buy of St. Clair. But Abyss gonna find himself his first kill of the game. Can he turn this into more? Does he spot out the hand? He does actually find him, takes care of Boyce. Gets himself his second one. Where is Formal in all of this as well? He is towards the B site. Very original. The fact that he's still alive absolutely terrifies me here for St. Clair. Huge deagle shots coming out from Pride KJ, and that's going to clean things up as well as kill the op. Do they pick it up for themselves? No, they don't. So they at least don't get the most amount of profit from that for Fanshawe. But still, huge round for Fanshawe Fuel.
I don't think Abyss liked it when you were talking smack about him on stream. He said, no way, I'm not going out of this game without getting a couple kills to myself. 2 huge solo kills for Abyss on the side. Really well done. But now it looks like he's back on the pistol duty. Might be a little hard to show us a repeat performance with that huge weapon disadvantage here. Whereas on the side of Fanshawe, everybody is slotted up and ready to go. They really want to get going on this round and keep that lead up. As we get closer and closer to halftime, they want to make sure that they're going onto the defensive round with as many rounds in their belt as they can. Prime KJ tossing some artillery down, trying to scope the situation out, make sure he can clear his route out before he makes an offensive approach. And it looks like Fanshawe, they want to win this round and they want to push that lead, but they're going to do it slowly and they're going to do it with discipline. St. Clair now needs to find themselves a pick to give themselves that huge advantage here. Right now, a little bit of a scary situation for Kazam, but does get the first shot onto Prime KJ. Loses the gunfight, however, to Boyce C3. Does manage to get a little bit of damage onto him, about 20% of that health, but nothing significant there. And it's just going to be a quick 1-for-1 trade to start off this round.
And it's going to be the trade here. Tyler's at least going to go 1-for-1, but Formal is going to get dropped here by Boyce as well. Bobby and Abyss to finish this off. Now it is all down to Abyss, who has been spotted. He's going to find Oxplata, but that is going to be it. Boyce going to finish off Abyss that time by. Plant the bomb, lots of money in their pockets as well. So sure, they may have lost a couple people, but at the same time, they should still be able to full buy right back into the game. And Saints probably going to find themselves in the situation to do another save round. They have a little bit in the bank, but not a whole heck of a lot. So try and get themselves further ahead. So maybe in the next round, they could find themselves in position to buy up. But Abyss going to go face tanking. He actually finds the kill onto Boyce. Perfect headshot to keep himself in the game, as he should have been jumped on. How about another nice one here, this time from Quazam, or Maz, to take care of Oxplata. So even though Saints are basically working on deagles and a pistol, they're still making this happen. But still, a 4-on-3, but the weaponry definitely in favor of Fanshawe Fuel.
The weaponry's in Fanshawe's favor, but the quick fingers on St. Clair's side. These nasty headshots coming out from Kazam and Abyss. to put their team on the board in this round are just huge when you're far behind. You want to get these picks, you want to get these kills, you want to see if you can get those weapon steals, anything you can to give yourself an edge going into the next round. Now, St. Clair actually in a 2-for-1 situation here. They've got sights on Prime KJ, but they're not willing to peek. They don't want to push too far forward. That's what happens when you peek. No looking, Bobby. That's what Prime KJ is telling you. You can't step up like that. You can't contest like that. It's just too dangerous. And with the plant there, Kazam trying to find the defuse, the nice headshot onto Prime KJ, but it looks like he's not going to have the time for the defuse. Going to disappear from that point before it explodes. So Fanshawe taking the round but Kazam with the final kill there. Huge for St. Clair.
I mean, small victory in the sense that, yes, you're going to force all of the Fanshawe fuel to rebuy again because you made that Deagle round go so well for you. However, the bomb, of course, still planted too long for this side of St. Clair, and everybody on the Saints do blow up. But at the same time, now they're all loaded up with assault rifles. Getting a bunch of eliminations that round is definitely going to help them move forward here in this game. However, 8-2 is a rough deficit to try and come back from already, with it only being going into round number 11. So we got to hope for the side of the Saints that their attacking side is just that good compared to the defensive side of things. Otherwise, they have not left themselves much room for error.
Silver lining, Standards. That's what it is. I'm just trying to stay optimistic. I see the same numbers you see, and trust me, they are damn depressing, but it is very good whenever you can see these nice little glimpses of hope, when your team is able to make the most out of a losing round, when they're able to get those small advantages. And as I'm saying this, Kazam, first to drop, last man standing in the previous round, first to go down here on round 11. I believe that kill went to Boise 3 was the one that found that kill onto Kazam here. Now as both teams start to push up onto the point, Abyss shooting out some Molotovs, trying to scope out the area here. Some artillery going wide from Bobby, doesn't manage to find the hit, gets picked off as well, punished for his trouble, punished for the overstay. That looks like Tyler and Abyss are going to drop as well, but 2 return kills going the way of St. Clair. That's Runic Tie and Very Original going to drop as well here, and that's the round will for Fanshawe. And this is not what you want to see coming off of such a legendary round that last round was for St. Clair. This is not what you want to end up in. This is not the situation you want to be in.
Yep, now you're probably going to have to either do a light buy to keep yourself at least a little bit of cash available, which is looking like what they're going to do. They're going to just SMG rush and 1 assault rifle to try and make something happen. But that definitely hurt. That was your one of your few chances to get yourself back on even footing, and it instantly goes down. Runic Tide going to find the opening frag here onto Formal, nice and quick. But Bobby and Tyler going to at least trade this up, so now it's a 2-for-2. As we have a 3-on-3 left to go. Bomb closer towards the B side of things. And Abyss might get the jump onto Boyce. In fact, going to be able to do so. Headshot takes care of that one. Trades up that gun. Gets the AK-47 for himself. So he's definitely sitting pretty. And Saints not in a bad position to try and close out this round as long as he can stop that bomb from going off.
Nice kill for Tyler's there to find that pick onto Runic Tide. Now getting closer and closer to the point, but Prime KJ gets the jump. Now going for the plant, but here comes Abyss getting nice up and close, trying to see if he can contest him on that point. The smoke does go down. Fighting without vision is not what you want to be doing here in these 1-on-1 situations. Prime KJ finding the pick, but it's not going to be enough. Kazam getting the return frag there. I said it. That's the refrag, baby. And now with the defuse on point, St. Clair is going to be able to find themselves a win here as we get closer and closer to halftime.
Oh, it's a good thing they moved quick on that one, because the fact that Kwazam did not end up buying a kit meant that his defuse would take so much longer than normal. However, them moving as fast as they did, able to get the refrag, sure, go 1-for-1, but that was the final one. Get onto the bomb as fast as possible and take care of it. Timeout now for the Fanshawe Fuel. So, going to take a few moments. Let's take a look at some of these stats here in this game right now. Prime KJ and Very Original being the absolute terrors on the side of the Fanshawe Fuel, hitting the double digits early here in this series. As it's going to be Prime KJ sitting there 15 for himself and then 12 on the side of Very Original. And looking at the Saint side of things, I'm seeing a lot of 9s between Bobby, between Kwazam and Formal, with Abyss and Tyler trailing behind with 6 and 5 for themselves as well. But it's just something about this defensive side of things seems a little bit off. We're going to hopefully see, since the Saints do actually opt to full buy here for this round. And can they turn this around, find themselves into a good position, and hopefully not see somebody get picked off within the first couple seconds of the round? Like, sure, you're going to have players that are going to be your entry fraggers, ones going in first. It doesn't mean they have to be completely split off from the team, moving in by themselves and putting them into these awkward positions where they get flanked on or blasted away before anything happens, and then you're basically just, you're a drone, you're a ward for your team. So it's a little bit rough. We're going to see Quizam get mollied to start things off, but it looks like it's going to be a quick one here from Fanshawe.
Getting the first kill of the round onto Boise for Kazam and Bobby getting a kill into Prime KJ, but there's too many kills. They're just dropping like flies. 2 for 2 now for both teams. Now, Uga Splata finding the 3rd kill for his team in this round, about 50% HP. What a chaotic mess to start off the round. Formal now the next to drop, and it's just Abyss, the last man standing. They've got eyes on him. They know where he is. This isn't going to be a surprise attack anymore. How are you going to get on this point, sir? And there's the kill, actually. Doing an impressive job finding the knock onto Uga Splata, but Runic Tai with the cleanup kill is going to secure that round for Fanshawe.
Saints full buys have been absolutely getting crushed on this defensive side of things, to say the least. Formal's ops have never guessed right, so to speak. Any time, any spot he puts himself in for the defense, it just seems like Fanshawe, not that they actually know, they're just making the right calls off of whatever information they're able to get as the game goes on. But ops have just been absolutely useless in the Saints' hands so far. We gotta hope for the Saints side of things, since they kind of force buy here. Can they get something to happen? Formal gonna start things off right, though. Does find Runic Tai, so at least gonna give the Saints the player advantage for the time being. And taking a look, actually, okay, so they did put the op onto Quizam this time by. And again, they're covering up the A side of things, but this time they're going to guess right, and there we go. The op finding like its first bit of value basically in this entire game for the Saints side of things. And it's a good time for it to happen. Now they have themselves the 5v3.
It almost seems like the Saints were overperforming with the pistol, but guess not. Guess the difference was just Kazam difference. Holy smokes. That's 2 beautiful snipes to lead off this round here, both going Kazam's way. Now Prime KJ the next to fall. Tyler's getting himself on the board. A double kill here now for St. Clair. Bobby cleaning up the last one onto Very Original. And St. Clair, right before halftime, does manage to get themselves one more round win in the bag.
All right, time to all in here, of course, on halftime, considering any cash you have gets reset at the end of this. So honestly, for Fanshawe Fuel, the fact that they're completely broke at the end of this is absolutely maximum efficiency. Like, at worst, they're going 10-5 here, and they're just going to rush this thing. I kind of like it. The Molly's in good position, however, and Bobby finds one. He's going to find himself a second. Is he going to continue to peek into that tunnel? As sure as heck is going to. Finds himself the triple. Quizam does end up going down from the MAC-10 in the smoke, but Saints in a good position to at least get themselves back on the right side of things. Right kind of momentum. Sneaky little shot there from Formal. It's going to make that op work for him. And now it's all up to Runic Tai to make something happen, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're just kind of killing time until next round. Like, there's not a whole lot left to do. St. Clair has the huge advantage. It's basically impossible for Runic Tai to get this plant at this point. Now kind of just running around in circles, trying to do what he can. And there's the 1v1 for Abyss, getting himself up to, I believe, finally now closer to 10 kills. Nope, that's actually 7 kills for Abyss here. Still the lowest fragger on his team, but he's there. He's moving up. He's catching up. And now St. Clair going into halftime, 5-10 for St. Clair.
I mean, that's always the thing about this game, right? It only takes 1 or 2 rounds to get your momentum back and going, and then we'll just see somebody absolutely tear through the team. As we now switch sides, of course, Saints are going to be on the attacking side on their match on Sunday. This is where they were most comfortable. However, the game was a little bit closer, of course. It was an 8-7 at the half last time on Sunday. So we get to see if they can really make this comeback happen here on the switch, as we see everybody basically just going to group and push, but Splata finding himself a good position to get himself the 1v1, but he could not get anything additional. Formal going to take him down. 4-on-3 as we go towards A.
funny being able to see these fights from the production side of things where you have that through the wall vision. Just seeing Uga Splata camped out, watching the Saints go marching by to lead off that round. Does find himself a nice angle to get up 1 kill, but the return frag comes out quite quickly. Now, checking in on the current round state, very original, barely surviving, like 10 HP left in this 2v2 situation. St. Clair has the advantage as long as they can get the first jump. They need to be aggressive here with how they want to approach this point. They did actually manage to get the plants off. So now they have the offensive edge. They know what Fanshawe wants to do, and they know where they have to be. But Fanshawe, very original, finding that kill. And now the cleanup kill coming from Prime KJ should mean that the defuse comes off. Prime KJ, oh, buddy, come on. You don't need to do that. Let's just, geez, that's just mean, man. We don't need to see that. Keep that to pubs. Keep that to solo queue, man. Now we're in this competitive setting. You want to bring your A game here, and St. Clair struggling to find their A game here. But Fanshawe looking dominant even on the defensive side.
I mean, for very original, one thing that is absolutely not original in the slightest, of course, is faking the defuse on the bomb. Of course, playing that sound cue kind of baited out the Saints to try and make a move. And now here we go, Mac 10 rush coming on through, and it's looking fantastic for the side of Fanshawe, as basically everybody but Bobby and Tyler's got mowed down. Tyler's still hanging on, though, so it's still going to be the 3-on-2 if they can find one more 2-on-2. Okay, so it's not too bad. Very original, still alive, and Prime KJ, the two huge fraggers on the side of Fanshawe Fuel, still alive. So this is still absolutely doable here from Fanshawe. Saints have their work cut out for them. They just got to figure out which side they want to go on in regards to the plant.
Last time we saw this situation, it was Fanshawe with the 2v2, but the disadvantaged player. Now St. Clair, Bobby barely surviving, 20% of his HP remaining, and with 50 seconds left in this round, need to find the plant here. But as I say that, Tyler's trying to get the plant off, gets blown up by Prime KJ. No counter fire offered there, and now it's looking pretty hopeless for St. Clair. Bobby's got to try to find this solo plant with 2 players remaining. I don't see how he's going to pull it off, and here comes the gunfight with such little health to your name. It just gets blown up so fast. There is no room to find that counter kill.
One thing I should mention to the Fanshawe Fuel is that they don't have to worry. Once the HP bar hits 0, you don't have to worry about going into negative. Save your bullets, man. What the heck? But now it's going to force Saints into a position where they're forced to save again. So, in theory, this should put Fanshawe in a position where they're 13-5, unless Saints could really make something happen here and make the comeback work with these deagles, with these pistols, which we've seen them do a few times, sometimes even a little bit more effectively than their actual full buys. But we'll have to see moving forward. Not going to commit to any site as of yet, but taking their time, hopefully calculating this one out as best as possible as they get ready to move forward.
Talk to me about the economy here a little bit, Daniels. If you're St. Clair and you're down 7 rounds after the halftime switch, what is the macro call here? What are you trying to do with your weapon economy?
Yeah, so basically similar to what we're seeing right here, right now. So pistols and cheap guns to get yourself at least a little bit of value. Maybe try and find 1 or 2 picks, force them to buy a little bit. Because if you look on the side of Fanshawe Fuel right now, other than Prime KJ, nobody has that much money in their bank. So if they were to have to buy up like 1 more time, it would definitely hurt. But we're going to see here some solid eliminations coming out here from the side of Fanshawe. They're really showing off that extra weapon area. Abyss is going to find Prime KJ, but only getting the 1 kill, that kind of hurts a little bit. And now, even though we're going to have to buy only for really 1 person, now you see like Fanshawe, they're still sitting not too bad here. Like very original, still in the 3Ks. And now the Saints, yes, they get to buy up and completely. Everybody's got AK-47s, but nobody is above 500. They have to make something happen right here, right now. Otherwise, they're going to probably have to try and save again. And if that's the case, that means that they would have lost this round to make it 14, and then they would lose their save round in theory to make it 15. They'd be on match point for the rest of the series.
Really comes down to execution. Who can get the first shot? Who can win out on these gunfights? Who can find those cheeky pistol headshots that we were seeing in previous rounds? St. Clair manages to actually pull this round 3-3, so it's not totally doomed here, but it does look a little bit sketchy when you're already down 8 rounds, and it is getting closer and closer to match point. You can't have an even round. You need to have a slaughter. You need your economy to pay off. You need these cheap weapons to play above their pay grade and get you some value back on these shots that we're finding. We're not finding these kills for St. Clair. Right now, looking to find an opportunity to plant. They haven't been able to approach the point yet. Fanshawe doing a really good job of spacing St. Clair off of these attack sites.
And now, of course, like Saints, rather healthy to move into these next couple seconds. We're going to do it apparently Rainbow Six Siege style, where we're going to wait for the last 30 or 20 to 30 seconds.
20 seconds meta, baby. Let's go.
To rush on in and just do it absolutely chaos style, as we're going to see. I think that is Formal who's going to lead the charge here for the Saints. Prime KJ going to be the first contact. No, it's going to be very original. They do find the kill onto him, so that's a solid start here for St. Clair, but they really have to move. Of course, doing this style does not give you much time, and actually, so far, so good. They do get the bomb planted. Just a matter of defending this as best as possible. Prime KJ, next to no HP, 20 left in him. Boyce, who hasn't been necessarily the top or on his game in regards to elimination so far, being stuck to kind of be relied on for his squad here in this situation when he's more of the supportive player is going to hurt a little bit, but can he clutch up here against the 3 members of the Saints? Are they going to try, or are they going to save? They don't have to force anything, and I think they know that. They are running back towards the A site. They're just going to keep their assault rifles and call it a day.
They're finally finding a round win here on the second half. This is really good for St. Clair to actually get themselves some cash in the bank, some money in the pocket that we can use to tempo ourselves ahead in later rounds. You can already see a number of members of St. Clair picking up some more serious weapons. I believe we're back to the AKs. Is that what we're looking at here, Danners?
That's a good setup here for St. Clair, considering they're able to keep a couple for themselves too. This does give them a little bit of a cushion now. So we do have there's Tyler's on Formal, and Quazam still above 1,000. So even if a round doesn't go necessarily in their favor, they have at least a little bit of wiggle room. But what would have been absolutely crazy is for Fanshawe, if they tried to make that save in that last round, if they had just lost everything, they would be completely bankrupt going into this round. Now we see they at least get one more round out of them. And then, okay, just going to make that shotgun work. That's one of the definite level ups if you can manage to get a kill with something cheap like the shotgun. Big play there from Alex Plata. Now 4-on-4, he wants that AK, he is going to take it, so now he's absolutely smiling in his seat as we get ready for this 4-on-4 with a minute left to go.
I don't know, I love them shotguns, man. They're so fun to use in any shooter that you play. Just getting that nice chigga kabam right in somebody's face. It feels so satisfying. AK-47, though, probably the smart move, having that constant and consistent firepower to be able to get those kills from a distance and protect your team from a distance off of these points here. Now, as we're getting closer and closer to round end, about 40 seconds remaining on the clock, more than half the time used, the tension is building.
Nice.
How are these teams going to approach? Tyler's getting a nice pick on the Boyce as he approaches the point there. Fanshawe, though, very original, finding 2 kills back, one onto Formal, one onto Kazam. It's now a 2v3 situation. Make that a 2v2, make that a 2v1, and now the 1v1 Tyler's is very original. Can he get the shot? Can he find him out? Can he scope him out? He does look like he gets eyes on him. Is he going to get the first jump? Tyler's getting around the corner of the truck. Who's going to get the first shot? Oh my God, they're still at it. And there, oh my,
he's got on him.
Wow. Tyler's with the round win in the 1v1 duel. Nice work, man, with the pistol. Way to finish off that round.
Very original, had the right idea. He didn't have to go for the kill, just had to wait for the time to tick down. And then Tyler's, if he did not go for the aggression, would have absolutely lost it if he could not get the elimination. However, just being nice and quiet, Tyler's was able to find his way around, find the headshot with 1 second left in the round. Was absolutely perfect timing here. And now, Saints are in a position where we do see AK's right back in there. We got full utility essentially for everybody, but Bobby probably gonna just run with what he has. He doesn't have much personally, but solid job for the Saints to at least have a little bit now in the bank. And it's going to be, if it sticks the way it is as of right now, Fanshawe may actually opt to save here. Maybe try and boost their economy for the end game. Stick to deagles, stick to pistols, cheap weaponry. try one more round where even if they do go down 13-8, then they can come back swinging. And so far, when it's been full buy versus full buy, I put my money on Fanshawe basically every time here, at least 9 times out of 10.
I mean, just looking at these gunfights, I mean, with the huge addendum on that last 1v1 going Tyler's way, 99% of these gunfights have been going the favor of Fanshawe. They have been finding the first shot. They're the ones that get the first jump. They're the ones that get the first bullet in the brain. And 9 times out of 10, that means it's a round win for Fanshawe if they're able to win out on these gunfights. However, for St. Clair now, that last round was really, really good for accelerating that tempo. Now on a 2-round win streak, let's see if they can carry it on here as Fanshawe has basically entirely prepared their econ. Kazam finding 1 kill, unable to find the second, but there goes the rest of St. Clair. Everybody's on the scoreboard. Formal, Bobby, and Abyss, each finding a pick off Uga Splata. Man, this guy is finding these crazy angles, these crazy approaches. Just gonna run himself out of there, but Abyss and Formal say, not today. No way, sir. Getting that kill, that shot in the back to take him down. Now St. Clair 8-13 here on the attack side.
All right, so not bad here for this side of the Saints. They're going to get themselves even more money in the bank, and actually Fanshawe going super safe. They're just going for deagles once again for this round. Just boost themselves up to pretty much to the point where everybody is going to have 3,000 in the bank for this next round. Meanwhile, yes, Saints, they still have a lot as well, but again, full buy versus full buy has not been looking good for Saints so far. Prime KJ, solid start, finds Quazams. He does go down very early once again. Solid shot here from Abyss, finds Very Original actually peeking up high, getting a little bit of a boost from his teammate and getting taken down. With the 4-on-4, Prime KJ, big win for him, does find himself an AK-47. Boyce is going to line him up and try to take them both down. Tyler is going to go down, but Bobby is going to stay alive. 1-for-1, nice double kill for Abyss. He's really showing up here. But now, the 1-on-1, did he spot the foot of Prime KJ? Does he know he's here? Might be able to get the jump on him? No, it's going to be Prime KJ who turns that save round into a victory, and that could very well spell disaster for the finishing touches here for St. Clair College.
I want to be proud of Prime KJ. Hear me out, Danners. I want to be proud of this guy. He is top of the leaderboard by a landslide, 28 kills. He is finding wins that he should never be able to find. Winning gunfights he should never be able to win. But man, this guy has some bad manners. Somebody's got to take this kid back to preschool, teach him how to shake some hands and say your please and thank yous, man. He's putting bullets in everybody's carcass. That's just, it's sacrilegious, really.
It's plays like that that make the community wonder why Collegiate have such a hard time actually promoting them to varsity, if you know what I'm saying. But nonetheless, own personal opinions aside here, this could be the finishing blow for St. Clair. Only 2 rounds away from losing in this situation. Boyce and Runic tie both with ops in this situation. Prime KJ has an AK-47, of course, that one-tap potential on an assault rifle. 1 shot to the dome and you're done. Might as well be an op if you get the headshot. And then everybody loaded up, good to go. Saints are going to have to do a full buy, which we do see once again. And Abyss, even though it's a full buy, all he can get himself is a submachine gun. That is going to be very painful. Formal has the op in hand, very hit or miss, majority miss so far in this series. But hopefully he can get something to happen here. Quazam, of course, on the entry frag roll. Don't want to see him go down early, but there we go. Formal does find Boyce. A very solid start. That was one of the ops down. Huge value for the Saints.
Always good to take out those key weapon targets early on in the game. It's really interesting for me as someone that primarily plays MOBA, seeing the kind of strategy in that target focus in a game like CSGO. For those of you that may not be as familiar with CSGO joining us on tonight's broadcast, these high priority targets, it really comes down to who's got what weapon, right? If you've got the bigger guns, the deeper pockets and the bigger guns, you're the one that the other team wants to take down first. You've got the heavy artillery that they could potentially nab for themselves. So St. Clair finding that kill onto the op this early in the round is just really, really good for getting a win in this round here. Unfortunately for St. Clair, Kazam does go down. I believe that was Runic Tai that found that knock here. And now Runic Tai finding another onto Bobby. There's the 3rd onto Tyler. He is just popping off with the op. Oh my gosh, this man is sniping everything. Nothing is getting out of his sights, and at least not alive. That's for certain. And now St. Clair in the 1v2 situation against Very Original and Runic Tide. We've seen Runic Tide perform incredibly well this round, and Very Original, still full HP, does actually go down to Formal, but that's the finishing kill for Runic Tide. MVP on this round for sure. What an incredible performance with the op.
Gosh, I was about to say that Runic Tai's been having himself a quiet game. I don't ever recall talking about him too much here, but absolutely that final, or not that final round, but that last round there from Fanshawe there for Runic Tai was absolutely disgusting. Saints are forced to play match point with submachine guns and deagles. In theory, this should absolutely seal the deal for Fanshawe. See Formal gonna get dropped pretty much right away. Oxblada gonna start things off right, as my observer seems to have broken. What on earth happened here? There we go. So 4 on 5 not in the favor of St. Clair. Weaponary not in the favor of St. Clair. This very well could be it right here, right now.
The off camera is telling you it's too painful. I can't look. I can't watch this happen to St. Clair. Down 7 rounds here as we're hitting the match point timing now. It looks like Fanshawe is getting set up nice and cozy on that B point, trying to make a strong hold here, but St. Clair, down a man, has to make an aggressive push. They're going to play it slow. They know that the tempo is not in their favor. It is 50 seconds left on the clock, and Kazam is the next to drop. Uga Splata finding another kill. Tyler's gets the kill onto Prime KJ, however, still keeping it at a one-man difference. 3 versus 4 here on this last and final round. We are getting a very nice close-up angle of Very Original, just holding onto that door. It'd be nice to see something a little bit more active here as these teams are duking it out up on the top side. Boys finds a kill onto Tyler. St. Clair now down to 2 versus 4 here in this round. Not looking too good, gamers, if I'm being honest. This is really dangerous. Abyss, only with the pistol, actually manages to find the kill into Boys. Picks up the gun, gonna try to do what he can, but there's the knock from Fanshawe, and I believe that is going to be the match. CT's win. Fanshawe Fuel taking the dub over St. Clair.
Unfortunately, just too much damage too quickly during the Saints' defensive play is going to end up being their downfall. Their attack was a little bit better, however, just not enough to actually get them back into the game. Not this time. Of course, getting themselves a good handful of victories, but just not enough. Fanshawe Fuel was just finding way too much value with way too little spending, and then when they did put all their chips into the pot, so to speak, they did perform over and over again. But less of their full buys went on deaf ears. Like, there's multiple times there for St. Clair where they load Formal up with the op. Everybody's got assault rifles, good to go. Even versus sometimes like submachine guns and deagles on the side of Fanshawe, and they would still either lose a round completely outright or lose way too many people for what should have happened in that kind of situation. Strategically, just wasn't quite there for our Saints here today, but all just big props, of course, to Fanshawe Fuel themselves, as they have definitely the better team here today, and I'm going to be looking forward to a rematch sometime down the road versus our Ontario esports friends.
When we talk about strategies, oftentimes what you hear from a team is, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Well, in St. Clair's case, if it is broke, we got to go back to the drawing board and try something new. It just wasn't working. We kept trying this op on Formal. We kept trying to win out on these gunfights, and we were just getting outclassed and outmaneuvered in the 1v1 scenarios, in the 2v2 scenarios. It really comes down to raw practice, going into a training lab, practicing your spray patterns, practicing your aiming, practicing your quick firing, scoping out, finding out where the enemy is approaching, and getting the jump on them first. That first jump in CSGO is huge. If you can get the first shot off in these gunfights, it helps. It's, at least this game, it seemed to prove it's very, very helpful to be the first one to have eyes on the enemy. So for Fanshawe, doing a really good job of taking advantage of just their individual skill and expertise, and really abusing that, pushing that down St. Clair's throats.
Right, that was a big thing too. Like, how many times did we see it would be like one of the members of the Saints? Oftentimes it would have been Quazam, who just jumps in. And obviously, as the entry fragger, you're trying to find yourself, you use those quick reactions to find yourself the opening kill. But if it doesn't happen, you usually have somebody behind you who can at least go for the martyrdom, go for the refrag, and take care of the player that took you out. However, that almost never really happened for Saints on either side of this game. It just was constantly the person would dive in, look to make the play, did not work, they would die, and they might not have had even the position for the call out. It would just fall on deaf ears, the player's down, equipment's down, value's down, economy's gone, for no value in the slightest. And it just absolutely hurt the Saints more and more as the game went on, to the point of no recovery. Now, in regards to eliminations, our little Slayer mini game, I do believe Formal gets himself the victory in regards to eliminations over Abyss. So everybody who voted for Formal, congratulations. That is actually 43% of you voting for Formal over Abyss. So congratulations on your channel points here for tonight. There you go.
Always nice to cash those in. We we always say thank you to our viewers, but now we're finally starting to find ways to actually show it. Make sure you guys drop some grifts in the chat if you're here to support the Saints. Use those channel points, spend them wisely. We like having you in our chat. We like having you support our game. So thank you, first of all, to everyone for showing up and supporting our game. And also a big thank you to our sponsors for tonight's event, of course. That'll be St. Clair College, PC Outlet, Zeckelman School of Business and IT, St. Clair College Alumni Association, Tim Hortons, and the St. Clair SRC. Without these sponsors, obviously, we would not be able to host these events for you nightly, weekly, monthly, daily, yearly. I know I said that wrong in a weird order, but it's all good. We just love having action here on the channel, and if it wasn't for the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to host these events. So thank you so much to everyone for helping us do what we do. I know personally I love being on the caster's desk, even for games that are a little out of my comfort zone. Casting CSGO is such a fun time. Getting to see all these players show off their mechanical skill, these crazy headshots, these crazy snipes. Like, it's just so cool to watch players with such skill. And I wouldn't be able to have that opportunity without all of you. So thank you.
Yeah, and of course I also want to mention, because I know from what I understand, I think Fanshawe was also streaming the match here, but anybody who tuned in, whether you're for St. Clair or for Fanshawe, regardless of which team you're here for, thank you for coming in. And we try to have ourselves the most respectful banter between the two teams. Of course, you're both going to be cheering on different teams, but be respectful to each other. Otherwise, you don't want Banner to drop the ban hammer on you. You're not going to be able to talk ever again in this chat, so don't you dare. Be nice. Be nice.
That's what it is. Watch out for the Dan Ban Hammer. It's a scary one.
Absolutely, don't mess with it. But, of course, in regards to, like you were saying, weekly, daily, monthly, daily action here on the Saints side of things, I do want to quickly go over our schedule for what we do have coming up in the next couple of days, as we do have tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Are you ready for up to 10 Fortnite matches? It is going to be a long day of long night of Fortnite play versus action. The actual season opener, our Saints did a fantastic job last week in the preseason, finding themselves 2 victory royales and constant top 5s and top 10s. Let's see if they can now repeat that when the chips are actually on the table. Start the season off right. Then Thursday at 6, Shadi, we'll see you once again as your League of Legends squad, of course, is up against the U Ottawa GGs in OPSE playoff action. Best of 5. Oh boy, I have a feeling that one's going to be a long one, but we'll have to see. Looking forward to seeing your match then. And on Friday, we have ourselves a late one here in the Collegiate R6 League. That's going to be, I think, week 4 and week 5 of action here for Collegiate R6. Then on Sunday, you liked the Counter-Strike guys. Well, they're coming back once again, this time in the Face It CSGO contenders. Then on Monday, we get to see the League of Legends squad once again, the Upsurge Minor League. We had the bye in the playoffs last Monday, but now we get to hop back into the action, see how far in this playoff bracket can we find ourselves here in the amateur scene instead of the purely collegiate scene. Lots of matches to get yourselves attached to here. Be sure to follow us on our Twitch channel, of course, Saints Gaming CA, and follow us on Twitter as well under the same handle to make sure that you catch all the news, all the results, and all the matchups, and exactly who we are playing at what time. Because there's definitely a lot to keep track of. Lots of teams in different leagues. So there's definitely a lot to hang on to the point where sometimes even I have a hard time trying to follow. So make sure you have that reference. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. And my final thank you, of course, to Shadi for joining me here on the commentary desk, because of course FPSs and Counter-Strike specifically, I know it necessarily wasn't your first choice, but you're coming in here swinging, and you got to learn somehow, and you're doing great. I thank you for joining me.
It's a good time. I learning new skills, learning new games, seeing my friends and my classmates just pop off in games. It's always a good time. So I'll be here.
Perfect. Maybe Sunday for Counter-Strike if it happens to work out. Obviously, we'll talk later. But nonetheless, we're gonna call it a night after one final merch plug, of course, because we do have the Saints merch drop coming here on our Acquire site, acquire.ca/Saints. The designs that you see here, there's also masks available and more designs to come here on acquire.ca/Saints, something our marketing squad has been doing a fantastic job of trying to get up and running for now and then for future designs and future semesters. So make sure you go get a piece of it, whether it's the Saints sweater or the jackets that you oftentimes see myself, Jackson, or other Saints members wearing. The jersey, you can get yourself a jersey, like I know Shanti's worn on stream a couple of times. So go get your own gear and represent the Saints if you wish. Of course, acquire.ca/Saints. But with that, we will close out here again for tonight after any final thoughts here from you, Shadi, about that match.
Just a good time. That's it. I enjoyed watching it. Even when our team loses, like I always say, a loss is a learning opportunity. So you take that and you roll with it. Nothing much else that you need to do. So for St. Clair moving forward, it's learning steps. You saw what happened this game, and hopefully you'll improve into the next one. And for Fanshawe, it's just keeping that tempo going and keep going strong into the NACE League. So I'm just happy watching these games, man. Doesn't matter how they end for me.
Hey, fair enough, and I'll look forward again to seeing Fanshawe, how they're doing in the league as we continue on, and looking forward to that rematch one day. But for now, we shall call it a night. Big thank you again for everybody for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow for some Fortnite.